So what was the question again? Oh, why is it called the traffic jam? Well, you know, the reason is, it's because I have two really cool cars. Seriously cool cars. And I love drifting, racing, because I am fast and slick, and plus I like to create a bit of traffic jam myself with a whole lot of great music. Bulumnaka, my name is Real, your host and DJ, right here on the Today FM Traffic Jam, every weekday from 3 p.m. to 7, right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
In this bulletin, FICAC conducts investigation into Health Ministry. New national minimum wage rate next year. And millions spent on road repairs from overloaded trucks. Welcome to FPC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. The national minimum wage rate is set to increase in 8 months' time to $2.32 an hour. Minister for Employment and Industrial Relations, Shiochi Konrote, says work is in progress to implement the new wage rate.
Everything looks more positive at the moment. You heard the President's address. He certainly mentioned that, and as far as I'm concerned, as the Minister, we're all working towards achieving that goal, yes. And I think government is committed into making sure that that is done by 1st of July next year.
However, Konrote says if Fiji is affected by the impending cyclone season, the new wage could be delayed.
I'm a realist, and I've been talking to my staff, and I told them that hopefully we will not have any major natural disasters in terms of, for example, having a tsunami or cyclone which is going to impact negatively on the projected growth. Economic growth will have a lot to do with us being able to meet this increase to $2.32 by July next year.
The national minimum wage rate was first introduced last year at $2 an hour. A 63-year-old Fijian accused of murdering a Fijian woman in suburban Auckland, New Zealand, has made his first court appearance. New Zealand media report the man was granted interim name suppression when he appeared in Auckland District Court charged with murdering Bimla Wati. 47-year-old Wati was found dead in her home at Mount Wellington on Monday night after police were called to the address. A man was also found at the property. He was granted interim name suppression to give him time to break the news to family members. The accused man, who has been in hospital for the past 3 days and who had extensive bandages on both arms, was remanded in custody without plea. He will reappear in the High Court in Auckland later this month. Fiji Roads Authority is concerned about overloading of heavy good vehicles by some companies. The authority says it spent millions of dollars repairing roads that were damaged by overloaded trucks in the past few years. Chanel Sivan reports.
A modern economy needs good corporate citizens. And a good corporate citizen doesn't devalue the nation's assets just so that they make a few more dollars.
The message is clear. If you are a responsible citizen and have pride for this nation, then you should not just think of your own pocket. Overloading is a major contributor to swelling and wavy pattern on the roads, and repairs to them are costing between $30 to $40 million.
Fiji's economy to grow as everyone wants it to. It's not just about the central government agencies doing this, it's about everyone playing their part. And it's about the general public calling the police if they think a vehicle is overloaded and unsafe and posing a risk to their kids and their nation's assets.
While the country is pleased with improvements to the roads, it is concerned about the attitude of road users.
A combination of good corporate citizenship, so drivers not driving overloaded trucks, loaders not overloading them in the first place, and the people who are taking the product not accepting that they're getting product delivered in such a way that it's compromising the assets.
The Fiji Roads Authority preferred not to comment about its submission in the 2015 national budget, saying it will work with the government's vision and affordability. The government allocated $454.8 million in the 2014 national budget. Shanal Shivan, FBC News.
The soaring prices of properties in Fiji is becoming a concern for many, as it is envisaged that an average family will not be able to own a home a few years down the line. Real estate industry stakeholders believe this is only because there is demand for properties in well-developed places like the capital city.
Questions are being raised about why the prices of properties are rising in the Suva vicinity, Nadi and a few other centres. Realtor Reginald Jokan of Jokan Realtors says it is important to note whether the prices are the real reflection of property values.
However, the bigger picture over here is if and unless these valuers don't put their pen to paper and put that price there, the prices will never go up.
The Fiji Institute of Valuers and Estate Management say it is a worldwide trend that there is influx of people in developed places.
And a clear case over here, like in Fiji as in the other places as well, is a rural-urban migration or rural-urban drift. What we're seeing is people trying to come into developed areas, so what that does is it puts pressure on the existing stock. So at the end of the day, it's the purchasing power of those buyers who can bid for higher prices, outsetting the ones that can't.
Melvin Anand says there is very little to no new housing subdivisions.
Land is constant, we're not going to increase land anyway, and the subdivisions are constant as well. We haven't seen any of those organizations such as the Housing Authority or the other organizations that normally subdivide properties and all that, do any new subdivisions lately.
The Real Estate Licensing Board Chief Executive Ravinesh Murthy says there is competition amongst locals as well, as there is shortage of land and properties in Suva. However, he says the level of professionalism in the real estate industry has improved, as agents are aware of the property market and they always give the right advice to property owners. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Technology has become a significant part of our daily lives. Using its potential could further enhance important sectors like our thriving tourism industry. This was one of the subjects discussed at a recent inaugural Asia-Pacific World Congress on Computer Science and Engineering at Plantation Island. Christopher Chand reports.
This conference discussed new technology and how it's going to have an impact on an industry like tourism, where it could benefit from new innovations like data mining.
Move far beyond just desktop computers or Facebook and things like that. There's a whole industry out there that involves many more complex things. And I think tourism would be a great case in point. So what do we do about investment in tourism? Where do we need new resorts? Where do we need infrastructure? That's improved by understanding data.
The initiative taken by the University of Fiji hopes to grow the potential of information technology in the South Pacific region.
Fiji is a small country. In order to compete internationally, it's got to be up there with the best in terms of the use of ICT to improve their businesses.
The two-day event attracted experts in the industry from around the world to discuss the potential of new technologies.
Pretty much any country in the world, Fiji included, will be silly not to be focusing on computer science and engineering, and especially on computer science. I think the world is moving towards automation in ways like never before.
Computer scientists and researchers like these are promoting the discussion of this important subject and hope to hold the event annually. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Ministry of Tourism has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Fiji National University, ensuring formal training for locals in the hospitality industry.
This is in line with what the government's vision is. This forms part of the whole process, and it's wonderful to see that our universities are going to be teaching, training, and the skill set goes up. And it goes in line with what I mentioned at the HOTEC trade show. It's our local homegrown talent. It needs to be upskilled and upgraded. And it's great to see MOU will help with all of that.
As tourism is Fiji's biggest foreign income earner, the MOU is aimed at ensuring the viability and growth of the sector.
Of course, we are part and parcel of the mechanism which delivers the government's policies and the agenda. So from that point of view, the memorandum would be forever in effect.
It's a natural partnership.
The MOU will ensure the sharing of information, statistics and research data that will enable better and informed forecasting on tourism development. Meanwhile, Minister for Tourism Fayaz Koya has acknowledged the work of the Society of Fiji Travel Associates at its annual general meeting in Nadi. SOFTA is made up of tourism organizations from inbound tour operators to cruise operators. Last year, approximately 540,000 tourists used SOFTA services in one form or shape. Koya says this is the significance of the important role the organization plays in ensuring the sustainability of the tourism industry. And Koya added the vision is to create a $2 billion industry for tourism in the coming years. Well, coming up after the break, a new cookbook that gives recipes using locally grown seasonal products is released publicly.
Nisambula, oyo Mr. Ben. Kelapa. Nama kikira na vima taka mundi chikira borumbu kama na ono kena diwa Enabula FM.
Welcome back. Now moving into our lead story, the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption, FICAC, confirms that it is carrying out investigations into the Ministry of Health. The Commission says it is conducting a general investigation into the ministry and cannot comment further into the matter at present. Savara Tambua has more.
FICAC has confirmed the statement has been released in response to documents leaked from within implicating senior officials in corrupt conduct regarding tender processes. The documents are posted on the Fiji Leaks website. FICAC says it will release details once investigations have completed, as commenting now will affect the integrity of the case. The investigation is ongoing into the ministry because of the complexity of the case. Meanwhile, the Health Minister, Chone Usumate, says processes in the ministry are being cleaned up and tightened.
In the organizations, you have procedures. First of all, if there is a procedure, it has to be followed. If somebody is not following the procedure, then the question must be asked, why was the person not following the procedure? If that is a case of a person not knowing, then maybe the solution is training. If not, if there's deliberately not following, then it's a case of discipline.
Usumate was responding to our questions about the excessive charges by some Indian hospitals for Fijian patients seeking treatment in their facilities. The Auditor General's report tabled in Parliament highlighted cases where charges were far above the codes provided for surgeries. Savera Tambua, FBC News.
A delegation from Fiji is expected to travel to Papua New Guinea later this month for a Melanesian Spearhead Group trade mission. The trade mission is scheduled for the 27th to the 29th of November and will be held in Port Moresby. Fiji's delegation is expected to be one of the larger contingents, including government and private sector stakeholders. The Ministry for Trade, Industry and Tourism, Fayaz Koya, is expected to lead the Fiji delegation. Credit unions in the Pacific play an important role as far as giving people an opportunity to invest in micro-enterprises and creating self-employment. The 7th Oceania Confederation of Credit Union Leagues, underway in Lami, hopes to strengthen member countries in the area of microfinance.
Tonga Lead Board Chair Mele Amaraki says the organization tremendously helps low-income earning families.
Credit unions offer members from all walks of life, especially the poor, a life that have the ability not only to access financial services, but also provides members a chance to own their own financial institution and to help them create opportunities such as starting small businesses, growing farms, building family homes, and educating their children.
Participants will share information, data and progress of local and regional credit unions, with discussions ongoing about how to improve services to their 19 member countries.
The net worth of the credit union movement in the Pacific valued at around $250 million, with a major portion of that from Fiji and PNG. It is tough fighting economies of small scales. And like any other business, the credit union movement in the Pacific faces enormous challenges in the current marketplaces against commercial banks and other larger financial facilities.
OCL is in its 7th year of operation, and the organization strives to help countries leverage benefits of countries like Fiji, and by doing so, strengthening the Pacific as a region. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
With the increasing number of crime targeted at children, child safety is now a main concern for schools and the police. The Education Ministry and police have launched a new program that will ensure the safety of children in schools. Speaking at the launch of the Turak Schools Watch Zone, Acting Education Permanent Secretary Basundra Kumar says the purpose of the Watch Zone is to build a strong partnership within the 9 schools in Turak and the police in order to combat crime. Rishika Kumar has the details.
Watch Zone, in collaboration with the Fiji Police Force, has begun surveillance of students. Watch Zone Chairman Naomi Vola says their work will include keeping the students safe as well as keeping them away from crimes.
The trend that we have now on cases of students being kidnapped or taken away from schools, we have come together to see what are the good practices in schools on like security. When does the gate open, closes? How do you go about with visitors or anybody who visits school? So there are procedures that are set.
Vola added that the role of the police officers has become more important as they have taken over most of the responsibilities of counselling from the teachers. Commander Central Tevita Wangabada says the main intention of the government is to have a safe and secure environment for Fijians and to have a sustainable growth.
The police has its obligation to ensure that the safety and the security of the people is paramount. So the initiative that was undertaken by the police here in Turak and also from the teachers here, with sincere gratitude, we thank them very much for that. And I hope this is our leaders of tomorrow, and then that we should look after them well and we should guide them well.
The theme for the launch was a safe and secure school for all, our responsibility. Schools are being urged to liaise with respective community police posts and to utilize support the police provides. Rashika Kumar, FBC News.
A new cookbook that gives recipes that use locally grown seasonal products is now available to consumers. The Kana Kakana cookbook has been released by the Minister for Health, Chone Usamate. Savara Tambua has more.
There is an abundance of locally grown produce that have high nutritional value. However, they are underutilized. This cookbook is aimed at inspiring people to live a beautiful, healthy and long life through the use of local produce.
We are turning away from the most perfect, healthy, natural and nutritious foods that grow on our islands, and instead we are eating unnatural, low quality, plastic packaged foods that are high in chemicals like fat, sugar and salt. These foods are making us sick.
The cookbook contains recipes and tips such as how much should I be eating, sensible portions and profiles of wellness champions.
Consumers can lay their hands on this book and they can use some of those recipes to really change their diet, considering the non-communicable diseases which is on rise.
Usumate says giving healthy foods at early age can be a way of combating NCDs, which is the biggest killer in the country.
So it's great to see the launch of the Kana Kakana booklet today. It'll give a lot of good ideas to parents on meals that are using things that are easily available, meals that are attractive and meals that are nutritious. So I'm hoping that the Kana Kakana booklet will give a lot of ideas, and I must stress the importance of providing good, nutritious lunches for our children.
The cookbook is free and can be collected from the ministry's headquarters in Suva. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
The Permanent Secretary for Information, Sharon Smith-John, says she is resigning to spend more time with her family and give them her undivided attention. Smith-John is leaving the government after 5 years in office. Alan Stoltz has more.
Sharon Smith-Johns is known for paying attention to detail and for bringing change to the government's information department. But now, after 5 years in office, she is leaving the government service.
For me, it's a time to move on. You can't do this job forever. And I think now is probably, a perfect time to be leaving government and to, and to move on to other things and to new challenges as well.
While paying tribute to Smith-Johns, Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama says she has been a trusted colleague during some of the most testing periods in Fiji's recent history. Smith-Johns agreeing the last few years were not easy.
I think that the time of censorship definitely was a difficult time for the staff. It was a difficult time for the journalists. But out of that, there were some friendships made. And, at times, we weren't the most popular people in Fiji. The relationship with the media has certainly, without the media, our job would be absolutely impossible. So I have a lot to thank the media for. And getting those messages out there, and in the newspapers, radio, TV.
One of the projects that she is very proud of is the digitalization of the National Archives. Since her resignation was made public, there have been several rumors that Smith-Johns happily put to rest, not only about her new position, but her leaving the country.
This is home. I've been in Fiji for 15 years. This is home. So, and Australia is home as well. My parents and my family live there. But no, I'm definitely not leaving Fiji. I'm sure some people want to see me go, but no, I'm staying in Fiji. I will be here. Another rumour. Wrong.
The Department of Information has undergone many changes over the years, and Smith-Johns says she is confident the department is more than ready for the challenges that lie ahead. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
The highly anticipated RAIN project has been officially launched. The project headed by musician Elena Baravilala will provide a platform to launch aspiring artists at no cost. 10 hopeful music artists will be chosen to write, compose, make a music video and have it launched officially with a music concert. The artists will get exposure on television. FBC TV is in the process of producing a reality TV show.
Just wanted to really inform business houses, stakeholders and the government houses out there about this project, because it is really targeted at young people, at the development of young people.
Those between 17 and 30 have the chance to audition on Saturday at the Playhouse at Selborne Street in Suva. Well, Indra is here tonight with sports, and what is the latest you have for us, Indra?
Yeah, thank you very much, Amrita. Coming up, France has named a powerful side to take on the Vodafone Flying Fijians, and we tell you how the men netballers are trying to make a name for themselves. Stay with us for that and more.
छू 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 हे हे नमस्ते फीजी, आपके हर एक प्रॉब्लम की दवा लेकर मैं आ गई हूँ 9 से 12 बजे तक आपकी सहेली रेनू। छू 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 40 में 20 का दिखना है। मैं हूँ ना आपके साथ में मिर्ची एफएम पर 9 से 12 बजे तक मंडे टू फ्राइडे। मिर्ची इट्स हॉट।
Welcome back, you're watching FBC Sports. France has named 3 debutants to face the Vodafone Flying Fijians in their one-off rugby test on Sunday. Scott Spedding, Teddy Thomas and Alexandra Domelin will make their international debut. Thierry Dossutois once again captains the team, which includes the like of lock Pascal Pape, alongside with Johan Mastery and powerful Nicolas Mas is at prop. Meanwhile, Fiji will name its team later tonight. That match starts at 5:45 a.m. on Sunday. Meanwhile, the organizers of the upcoming Fiji men's and mixed netball competition are looking to use the tournament as a tool to fight against homophobia. In order to get the message across, they have also invited rugby players to be part of the one-day meet. Chaledoda Kadaka has more.
The Fiji men's and mixed netball tournament has been organized in such a way that participating teams will not be the only winners at the end of the day. Organizers are looking to tackle a bigger problem, homophobia, which often makes a mockery of those who participate in this rapidly growing sport.
So in line with, I believe, a campaign and advocating sports homophobia, and Fiji men's and mixed wishes to be the only sport that actually promotes gender equality and also involves not only business houses but spreads and also preaches the word of sport, that it is not gender biased but can be enjoyed by all sexes and races.
Organizers have also roped in rugby teams to compete.
I believe the Navy rugby team, together with prisons, we have the San Pedro Roosters, who are the former champions of the rugby league, the Nadi International Airport rugby team, and also we've got the Western Marine from Narewa, and the University of the South Pacific are actually fielding in 2 teams.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Sports Commission today donated $5,000 to help in the running of the competition, which will be held next Saturday at Korevolu Park in Nandi. Chalendo Kazak, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Fiji Under-20 football side will be playing its second match of the Australia Tour tomorrow. The side, after having drawn 1-1 with Western Sydney Wanderers, now face the New South Wales Institute Academy team. Coach Ravinesh Kumar says he'll be looking at fielding a different combination in the latest encounter.
All of them, or not all of them, most of them in the first game. Now we will be rotating some players in the second and the third game, just to see how they react with the situations and playing with these academy teams. Academy team which is next, and then we will see how it goes in the third and the fourth game.
That game starts at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Staying with football, the Vodafone Fiji Football Association Northern Futsal League came to an end in Lambasa last night. Friends United, led by former Lambasa goalkeeper Shamal Kumar, won the tournament, beating Tambia 2-1 in the final. The league attracted 16 teams who played over 7 weeks, and Fiji FA says they will be organizing it on a bigger scale next year. It was a happy day for the Samambula Senior Citizens Home residents, as they were given a surprise which they will remember for a long time. This as the Fiji Snooker and Billiards Association donated a pool table to the home. Rohit Deo was there and has the details.
It was visible in the sights of the onlookers of how happy they were. The arrival of a new table meant something new to pass time, which is not unusual for these people.
It's a great day today that we have received a billiard table from the association, and through this donation, my residents will be occupied in it throughout the week.
Shots of this kind will be taken daily until they are perfect at the game, as they have a table of their own now. With snooker and billiard being a minor sport in the country, a donation of this type was not an easy task.
This is just we acknowledge our old people, because they are actually nothing to do here. We want to occupy some entertainment here, and they are at least busy sometime, and their mind is fresh.
It is these types of activities which may seem so small, but in fact brings a smile to many people's faces. Meanwhile, the Fiji Billiard and Snooker Association received a boost also, as Pillai governments gave them a check of $10,000 for next 3 years champion versus champion competition. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
And that's your Thursday night sports. Have a good evening. It's back to Amrita.
Weather time with Trish.
Thanks, Amrita. Cloudy conditions and showers were experienced over the eastern and interior parts of the larger islands today. Fine weather apart from isolated or afternoon and evening showers prevailed elsewhere. Meanwhile, a moist easterly wind flow prevails over much of the southwest of the Pacific. Temperatures today reached the 30s today, and Bar recording the highest at 34 degrees. Tomorrow's forecast: rain and thunderstorms developing over most places tomorrow. Isolated heavy rainfall also expected. Today's image of the day: Well, the rain was certainly bringing out the frogs like this one captured by Wilson Chow at Wani Bukasi in Tailevu. You can send us your scenic photos at citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj.
Well, that is an interesting photo, Trish. Here are the main points again. FICAC has confirmed that it is carrying out investigations into the Ministry of Health. A 63-year-old Fijian accused of murdering a Fijian woman in suburban Auckland, New Zealand, has made his first court appearance. And the national minimum wage is set to increase in 8 months to $2.32 an hour. This week's poll question: should Fijian rugby players put club before country? You can visit our FBC website to take part. Note, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. If you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or hashtag FBC News. That's news tonight. Good evening.